Everybody wants to change the game, but not everybody's willing to do what it takes. You think the game changes just because you show up. No. The game changes when your presence demands it. The game changes when the work you've put in, the sacrifices you've made, and the discipline you live by screams louder than your excuses. See, the first secret to changing the game is this: mindset before skill set. Most of you are trying to play with talent, but your mind isn't ready for the battle. You got skills, you got gifts, but your thinking is keeping you stuck. The body follows the mind. If your mind says, I can't, then I don't care how much ability you have. You're finished before you even start. But when your mind is locked in, when you tell yourself, this is mine, I refuse to lose, suddenly every skill you have becomes a weapon. Everybody wants to talk about talent. Everybody wants to talk about skills, the gifts, the things they were born with, the things they learned, the degrees, the certifications, the training. And don't get me wrong, those things matter. But let me tell you the truth. None of it means a thing if your mindset isn't right, because mindset comes before skill set. Mindset is the foundation. Mindset is the fuel. Mindset is the difference between somebody with average talent who wins and somebody with world-class ability who never makes it out of the starting blocks. Listen to me carefully. The body follows the mind. If your mind tells you that you can't do it, you're already defeated. If your mind tells you the hill is too steep, you're not even going to try to climb. But when your mind is locked in, when your mind is focused, when your mind is saying, this belongs to me. I don't care what it costs. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care what I have to go through. I'm going to get it. Then suddenly your skills activate on another level. You ever seen somebody with less talent beat somebody with way more talent? You ever seen somebody with less experience outperform the veteran? It happens every single day. Why? Because mindset eats skill set for breakfast. One person is locked in mentally, the other is soft. One is driven by vision, the other is driven by excuses. One believes the game is already won before it starts, the other is waiting to see what happens. That's the difference. That's what changes outcomes. Some of you think the next course, the next coach, the next opportunity is going to change your life. But the truth is, your life changes when your mind changes. That's why two people can get the same opportunity, the same information, the same tools, and one goes and changes their life with it, while the other throws it away. It's not the opportunity, it's the mindset. You don't need more talent. You don't need more degrees. You don't need more handouts. You need to train your mind to believe before the evidence shows up. You need to train your mind to see the win before the trophy is in your hand. You need to train your mind to fight even when you're tired, even when you're doubted, even when you've failed 1,000 times. Because the ones who change the game, they don't win with just their skill. They win because they refuse to quit in their mind. Think about it. How many people you know with insane gifts, crazy ability, natural talent, but they're still stuck? They still broke. They still complaining. They still wasting time. Talent didn't save them. Skill set didn't elevate them. Why? Because their mind wasn't ready. Their vision wasn't sharp. Their belief wasn't solid. They couldn't endure the struggle because they never trained their mind to push through pain. But then you look at the ones who had nothing, the ones who weren't supposed to make it, the ones who came from the bottom who weren't given a chance. They didn't change the game with skill. They changed it with hunger. They changed it with belief. They changed it because their mindset said, I will not stay here. I will not settle. I will not stop. And that mindset pushed them to build the skills they needed along the way. Don't get it twisted. The skill set is important. But if you don't fix the mind first, the skills will never reach their full potential. You can be a genius and waste it. You can be talented and never see a stage. You can be the best in your class and still never dominate. Because mindset is the foundation everything else stands on. Without the right mindset, your gifts are wasted. With the right mindset, even your weaknesses can be turned into strengths. So the first secret to changing the game is not how much talent you have. It's how much belief you have. It's how much hunger you have. It's how much resilience you have. It's how you train your mind to see possibilities where others see limits, to see opportunity where others see obstacles, to see growth where others see pain. Change your mind and you change your life. Change your mind and your skills will finally mean something. Change your mind and you won't just play the game, you'll rewrite the rules. Because when mindset comes before skill set, nothing can stop you. Motivation feels good. Motivation gives you goosebumps. Motivation makes you shout, makes you clap, makes you write down goals on a piece of paper. But motivation doesn't wake you up at 4 a.m. Motivation doesn't carry you when your legs are heavy and your eyes are tired. Motivation doesn't pay the bills when the job gets hard. Motivation will light the fire. But discipline is what keeps it burning when the storms come. See, people love being motivated. They love hearing words that make them feel invincible for a moment. But feelings fade. The moment the music stops, the moment the video ends, the moment the crowd leaves, that motivation disappears. And that's why most people never finish what they start. They're chasing a feeling instead of building a lifestyle. Discipline, on the other hand, doesn't care how you feel. Discipline doesn't care if you're tired, if you're stressed, if you don't feel like it. Discipline says, we said we were doing this, so we're doing it, period. Discipline is cold. Discipline is sharp. Discipline is not emotional. And that's exactly why it works. Let me tell you something. Motivation is about inspiration, but discipline is about transformation. Discipline doesn't just get you started. It changes you. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you're rewiring your brain. You're building mental toughness. You're telling yourself, I can be trusted with greatness. And that's how you change the game. You ever notice how the most successful people, the ones who dominate their field, they're not the ones always hyped up, bouncing off the walls with excitement. No, they're steady. They're locked in. They have routines. They have non-negotiables. They do it whether they feel like it or not. That's discipline. That's why they last when others burn out. Think about an athlete. Every athlete loves game day. The lights, the crowd, the roar, the energy. That's motivation. But greatness isn't built on game day. It's built in the dark when nobody's cheering, when nobody's watching, when it's just you and the grind. Waking up before dawn. Running when your lungs are burning. Lifting when your body is sore. Studying film when you'd rather sleep. That's not motivation. That's discipline. And that's why some athletes rise and others fade. You got to ask yourself, are you motivated or are you disciplined? Because motivation will get you in the gym, but discipline keeps you there when you don't see results yet. Motivation will make you write the business plan, but discipline will keep you grinding when the money isn't coming in. Motivation will make you promise change on January 1st, but discipline is what makes sure you're still working in November. Discipline is freedom. That sounds backward, but it's true. The disciplined person is free from regret, free from excuses, free from inconsistency. They don't waste time starting over every few months because they never quit in the first place. The undisciplined person is a slave to their feelings, to their moods, to their circumstances. They only move when it feels good, and because of that, they never gain momentum. Listen, you don't need to feel like it to do it. Stop waiting on motivation. Stop waiting for the perfect song, the perfect mood, the perfect timing. Just do it because you said you would. Do it because it needs to be done. Do it because your future self is depending on you. That's discipline. And here's the truth, the disciplined person is unstoppable. You can't beat someone who doesn't quit. You can't outwork someone who shows up every day no matter what. You can't hold down somebody who built habits so strong that quitting isn't even an option anymore. Discipline is the weapon that will separate you from the crowd. So if you really want to change the game, stop chasing motivation and start building discipline. Create a routine and stick to it. Wake up at the time you said you would. Do the work you promised yourself you'd do. Push through when your body says stop. Keep going when your mind says quit. Train yourself to obey discipline over feelings. Because one day, motivation will be gone. The hype will die down. The applause will fade, and in that silence, it'll just be you, your work, and your discipline. And if you've built that discipline, you'll keep moving, you'll keep climbing, and eventually, you'll break through. That's the secret. That's how you win. That's how you change the game. Everybody wants success. Everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to shine, to stand out, to be remembered. But when you strip all the talk away, when you cut through the hype, the question is simple. What are you willing to give up for it? Because the truth is, sacrifice separates you. Sacrifice is the line between average and great, between dreamers and doers, between those who talk about changing the game and those who actually change it. See, most people want the crown, but they don't want the cross. They want the reward, but they don't want the responsibility. They want the platform, but they don't want the pain. They want the victory, but they don't want the sacrifice. And that's why they stay where they are. Because the moment sacrifice shows up, they tap out. Let me be real with you. You cannot have comfort and greatness at the same time. You can't keep every convenience, every distraction, every pleasure, and still expect to dominate. Something's got to go. You've got to be willing to trade your right now for your not yet. You've got to be willing to give up the things that feel good for the things that make you good. That's sacrifice. Sacrifice is turning off the TV so you can turn on your grind. Sacrifice is saying no to the party so you can say yes to the opportunity. Sacrifice is skipping the new shoes so you can invest in your business. Sacrifice is waking up early when everybody else is still asleep. Sacrifice is putting your comfort on the altar so your calling can live. That's the price of changing the game. And don't get it twisted, sacrifice hurts. If it doesn't hurt, it's not real sacrifice. If it doesn't stretch you, if it doesn't make you question yourself, if it doesn't make you feel uncomfortable, you're not sacrificing. You're just rearranging. True sacrifice feels like loss in the moment, but it always pays off in the long run. Think about every legend you know. Athletes, entrepreneurs, leaders, innovators. Behind the highlight reels, behind the success stories, behind the trophies, there's a story of sacrifice. Somebody gave up sleep. Somebody gave up comfort. Somebody gave up security. Somebody gave up approval. Somebody gave up what they wanted most in the moment for what they wanted most in life. That's why sacrifice separates you, because very few people are willing to pay that price. Most people want shortcuts. They want to keep their old life and somehow add success on top of it. But you can't pour new wine into old wineskins. You can't step into a new season with old habits. Something has to die so something else can live. Sacrifice is not punishment, it's preparation. It's pruning. It's removing the things that hold you back so you can grow stronger. It's trading what's temporary for what's permanent. It's letting go of what's good so you can grab hold of what's great. You've got to ask yourself right now, what am I willing to give up? What am I willing to cut out? What am I willing to lose so I can win? Because if you're not willing to sacrifice for your dream, you will sacrifice your dream for your comfort. The reason most people never reach their potential isn't because they don't have talent. It's because they're not willing to let go of distractions. They don't want to say no to friends, no to comfort food, no to sleep, no to spending, no to scrolling. And so they stay stuck. Their dream never matures because they never create the space for it to grow. But when you decide to sacrifice, you separate yourself. You stop living like everybody else. You stop wasting time like everybody else. You stop spending like everybody else. You stop moving like everybody else. And when you stop being average, you start becoming great. Hear me, the world doesn't remember the ones who were comfortable. The world remembers the ones who sacrificed. The ones who bled for it. The ones who walked away from what was easy to chase what was necessary. The ones who gave up sleep, security, and sometimes even relationships to answer the call on their life. That's the cost of changing the game. So don't just ask yourself what you want. Ask yourself what you're willing to give up for it. Are you willing to let go of the old you to become the new you? Are you willing to sacrifice today so you can stand tomorrow? Because if you are, then I promise you, you'll rise above the crowd. You'll stand out. You'll separate yourself. When people look back at your life, they won't just see the wins, they'll see the price you paid. They'll see that you didn't just show up. You sacrificed to show out. And that's why you'll be remembered. That's why you'll change the game. Everybody is looking for shortcuts. Everybody is searching for secrets, hacks, magic formulas. They want overnight success, instant results, quick recognition. But the truth is, there is no shortcut. The cheat code is not speed. It's not luck. It's not a magic opportunity. It's consistency. Consistency is the real cheat code. It's the thing that looks boring, feels repetitive, seems invisible, but produces results so powerful that people will call you lucky when you're not lucky. You're just consistent. See, talent gets you noticed, but consistency keeps you relevant. Passion gets you started, but consistency gets you finished. Excitement might get you moving today, but consistency is what makes sure you're still moving 5 years from now. Anybody can work hard for a day. Anybody can grind for a week. Anybody can show up when they feel good. But it's the one who shows up day after day, week after week, year after year. That's the one who changes the game. Consistency is boring to most people. It's doing the same drills, running the same laps, lifting the same weights, making the same calls, practicing the same routine. And because it's boring, most people won't do it. They want new. They want fresh. They want exciting. But greatness isn't built in excitement. It's built in repetition. Champions are not made by what they do once.